Alright, so I'm back with another replay cast for Spellforce 3. This is going to be another first round matchup from the Dragon's Eye tournament, and this is going to be a matchup between AquaKaZam and Scrangos. So we're going to be on Evergreen Forest, and let's get into it. Okay, so AquaKaZam is playing as the Orcs in green, and he's going to be going for the Occultist. And Scrangos is going to be playing as the purple dark elves, and he's going for the Guardian of Nor. So I'm going to switch to free spectating. Get this up. So Scrangos has his Spectre going straight forward. Looks like Aqua is going to send the Warg forward, and Aqua is going left with his Occultist to start. Scrangos is going straight up to start. So a little bit different pathing from the two of these players. Let's see what Scrangos does with this Spectre. Hopefully he doesn't lose it to these zombies. Yep, just keeping him moving. So you can see Aqua is getting a little bit of experience taken away from Scrangos, just hitting those zombies a little bit. If you're not familiar with how the experience system works, the way I understand it is that whoever is dealt a certain percentage of damage to a creep's overall health pool, that's how the experience is split up. So these initial camps, these low-level camps that are shown by this type of skull, sometimes they're white, give you exactly enough experience to get to level 2 from level 1. So if you can just get 1 hit or 2 hits or whatever, I guess one's all that's needed, you can prevent your opponent from getting to level 2 off of a single camp. So if they're trying to do, 1 camp and then rush you, you can sort of prevent that by sending your scout forward and just dealing some damage. So we've got the Warg harassing the wood line. That's good to see. I'm not sure where Scrangos' Spectre is now. I lost sight of that. Not seeing it right now, but you can see Aqua kind of did the horseshoe, so just went off to the side, looped around, and is staying on his side of the map for now. Scrangos, on the other hand, has the Guardian of Nor going to Aqua's Medusa camp. Looks like he forgot a zombie on his way out to the middle of the map. So I'll be curious to see how much of this camp he's able to take with just the level 2 Guardian of Nor. Looks like he's got his starting Tarantula on the way. Take a look at skill builds in a second here. So Scrangos is on 1 Brute Force, Debilitating Blow, Soul Explosion, Block Momentum in Deep Waters. And Aqua is, let's see on the corner here, looks like he's going to harass a Wood Chopper. Is on 1 Brute Force, 1 Blood Sacrifice, 1 Nullify, Blood Confluence, Demonic Pact that was picked up initially for taking out creep camps, and 2 points into Death Resilience. So
building completed.
Let's see. I'm gonna go back to free spectating. So Scrangos is doing decent over here. Took out one of the Medusas from his opponent's camp. Looks like he'll get another. Aqua's staying on the harassment. I almost wonder if this Warg would be better used scouting the Medusa camps just to see if the opponent is trying to take them, but maybe he figures it'll help him with harassing. Aqua's a very high rated Orc player and high rated in general, so I figured he knows what's up and what he's doing with his units. And Scrangos has got another of the Medusas, and it looks like he'll take all 4 and presumably capture this camp on Aqua's side. So I would figure that Aqua is looking at this as if he can drain wood income and wood from repairs from the Dark Elf player, he can kind of dig into their economy and their ability to expand early. The Dark Elves, from my understanding, are pretty reliant on wood throughout the whole game. especially early. So we'll see how this plays out. And now he's going to go left and threaten Scrangos' Medusa Camp. Now Scrangos already took all of his, so let's check experience levels. Scrangos is ahead on experience right now. They're still the same level, but Scrangos is closer to 4. And let's see, before this, or as this is starting, he's going to take some of these goblins out. Picked up another Deep Waters, and he picked up Soul Transformation when he hit level 3. So, I wonder how useful goblins are in this situation for an Orc player, because when Scrangos is using his Soul Explosion ability, which is only a 10-second cooldown, which is pretty low, that can, that could take out a clump of goblins pretty fast. You can see a bunch of them just lost a chunk of health from him using that. So he's on 3 sectors right now, one of which is, and when I say he, I mean Scrangos is on 3 sectors right now outside of his capital, one of which is on the other side, over in Aqua's territory. And at this point I would say you leave here. You're just taking extra shots from the scouting post and risking losing some of your tarantulas. But he did force a port out of AquaKaZam, so he uses Stone of Homecoming, and he's out of potions. So I'm not sure if he was just using those aggressively, or if he had to expend a bunch because he was going forward and just trying to get into Scrangos' face there. I like the level 2 armor pickup.
May Tiara bless your path.
I wonder if traditionally when I've watched tournament matches from Nakamura and some of these other casters, I notice a lot of players save up money so that they can get tier 3 equipment or level 3 equipment, these purple items. And I wonder, what is the opportunity cost of, instead of saving up for a purple, getting a tier 2 armor weapon, more potions, maybe orbs, some of these utility items, and waiting until later to get tier 3 stuff. It'd be interesting to calculate, how for how much money you're spending, what stats are you getting in return, and is it actually worth going straight from tier 1 to tier 3?
Our workers are under attack.
So, something that I'm sure will be explored in the competitive scene, especially as this Meta Plays project goes forward and kind of fosters a more consistent tournament scene, and hopefully ladder play as well. You can see that Scrangos is doing a good job harassing. He's got some bells rung over on this sector with his tarantulas. Ideally, you'd like to see some pullback micro, so that you're not losing tarantulas there, but again, this is one of those easier said than done moments as a spectator. Got a little skirmish going on over here between some goblins and tarantulas. And let's see what else is going on. So Scrangos is down here clearing up the last creep camp that he left in the corner with some spare zombies. And Aqua is on the way forward again. I'm going to take a look back at abilities. So Scrangos, he's got 2 points to spend, so nothing's changed since the last time we looked. And Aqua put 2 points into concentration. He is tier 2. You can see he's starting to get his iron income. I figured he's going to be throwing iron mines down in these back corner sectors. That's where the iron locations are, as well as this middle one. The iron on the front sectors, or the more central sectors, are not nearly as safe, because the mine is kind of the first thing that your opponent's going to run to if they decide to get aggressive on your side of the map. And excuse me if you're hearing any background sound. My dog is licking his leg. So a lot of tarantulas coming out from Scrangos. Given how much wood he has in his bank, I believe that about half of these could be replaced by infiltrators. And the reason I say that is it can be very beneficial to make sure that your army is balanced in the sense of having damage dealing units and having frontline units that can tank damage. And tarantulas are not damage dealing units. You can see they only do 25 damage. They attack, 0.56 times per second, so they don't have a horrible attack speed, but they're not damage dealers. The same way scoundrels are not damage dealers. Now, I would assume, because this is almost always what orcs are going to do, that Aqua will go for, a front line of goblins and then get hunters in the back. So for right now, since he's on tier 1, he's just going to keep getting these scoundrels. Or excuse me, he is tier 2, but right now he's only producing tier 1 units. And for Scrangos, he could get infiltrators in tier 1, but he hasn't done so. And I think that infiltrators would take away a little bit of the effectiveness of the occultist's spells that he uses. So we'll see how this plays out. And you can see that bleeding effect that got on a bunch of those tarantulas when the occultist uses blood sacrifice. So I'm going to switch back to free spectating so we can see a little bit more on what's going on the map. I'm going to actually, real quick, go look at armies. So 18 tarantulas and 2 infiltrators for Scrangos. For Aqua, 2 hunters, 35 scoundrels, and a warg rider. I wonder if that's the same warg rider from the beginning of the game. That'd be funny. Normally the scouts don't last that long. People end up not putting any attention into them, and they send them on a scouting mission and they just end up dying. But AquaKaZam is going to put some pressure on this frontier post. I would just stay there and fight this and just get some soul explosions off. I mean, now that the hunters are coming out, that's going to start to change things. And if Scrangos is not getting tier 2, which I'll check on in a second after this fight kind of resolves itself, he might find himself in some trouble. Because once a player like Aqua starts putting together a backline of hunters, and you can see they're targeting the Guardian of Nor, which is exactly what you should be doing, you're going to start having problems. And I've been away from Spellforce for some time, so I'm not sure how long Scrangos has been around, but I know Aqua's been around, and I know that he's been playing at a high level for as long as I've played the game, so see, I mean, you can see the population difference is pretty massive right now. Although orcs can kind of explode in their population in the mid game from my time playing with them, and just the massive scoundrels is already a thing. So on one hand, scoundrels probably aren't a great use of population space in general, and that's not to say you shouldn't get them, but to say that if you have someone who has 142 population and it's all goblins or scoundrels, that's not super terrifying, as opposed to having 142 population out of hunters and brutes, let's say. But again, any unit in this game serves a purpose. They've all got their own role, even though some may be more or less viable given the balanced state of the game. I've not been checking items, so I'm gonna go and do that. So Scrangos has got level 3 armor, level 2 weapon. Hasn't got the shield, which I think the shield would be good. Although maybe not, because you're fighting a bunch of goblins. So I guess the block chance isn't that important. But fire orbs, which I like to see, he's got them hotkeyed. And Aqua is still on the same items. I figured he's been spending most of his gold getting new health potions, but he's taken out this what do you call it, adamantium golem. He's got a little more than half of the map because he regained this sector from Scrangos, and he's got one on Scrangos' side. He will take this, I figure, even though this sector won't be useful to him until he's tier 3. And I forgot to check. So Scrangos is tier 2 right now. So he's negative on iron, so I figure he's probably trying to build some sleepers or something. Let's take a look at army compositions again. So 5 infiltrators, 18 tarantulas, and then Aqua's on 17 hunters and 43 scoundrels. So right now, it seems like Aqua's gonna run away with this because of the population difference, because of the army quality. And when I say army quality, I mean those hunters are worth way more than the tarantulas and infiltrators are. So for now, Scrangos is going to need to get on the offensive if he's going to win this game. He needs to regain some of this territory. And you can see Aqua, he's floating resources, but he's pretty high population, and his economy is balanced well. Scrangos is low on wood, negative on iron, but he's got a lot of food. So this is one of those situations where what you could do is build another iron mine here. Build another iron mine here, especially here. You could get stone elsewhere. You could get decently safe stone here, although this is probably iron. Yep. But you could, you know, take these hunters off the cabin and get another iron mine here so that you can rebalance. But he's, you know, he's certainly busy controlling his army and trying to figure out what Aqua's up to. I'm not sure if he knows that this is taken. I don't know if he's walked in there, but this is a fight you don't want to take. And let's see what happens here. So, and you don't. And so, this is a good learning lesson for anyone who plays the game or anyone who's interested in the game or RTS in general. So what happened there was Aqua used an ability called Nullify, where you might have seen he pulled a clump of spiders back towards his army and disabled them temporarily. Now Scrangos was running when that happened, and that was the right move because he knew that he was at an army disadvantage. I mean, you see this clump of hunters, that's not something you want to run into at this point in the game. Now he was already on the back foot and he was running. When you see your units get pulled by that Nullify, in my opinion, you never want to turn around, because if you're already running, that means you know in your mind, whether consciously or subconsciously, you're at a disadvantage and you shouldn't take the fight in the field. You've already lost that clump of tarantulas, so just keep going back and cut your losses there. He didn't stay for the full engagement, so that's good. But Guardian of Nor went down, and he's now on the way back. And I think even here, you just stay back in your own territory. Maybe while Aqua is committing to take out this golem, you go attack this base and try to regain some territory on your side of the map, because this is already close to you. But the open field fight was something that was not going to play out well there. And now Aqua's got Ravagers. Let's see what Scrangos has got in his army for now.
How may I be of assistance?
Starting to get sleepers out, so I like that. We'll see what else he mixes in as this game progresses.
I await your command.
Aqua's, yep, Ravagers, Hunters. The Ravagers will be able to get in the back and kind of mess with these Infiltrators. And the Infiltrators are really going to be the ones, along with the Sleepers, dealing the damage for now. Jeez. A lot of status effects there. Alright, so yeah, you can see the Hunter ball is just growing out of control at this point for Aqua. And this will be game. But well played to both players. You know, again, I don't know how long Scrangos has been on the Spellforce scene, but props to him for you know, lasting as long as he did versus someone like Aqua. That's a very tough opponent, and it's a big map too. So, you know, dealing with Orcs on a big map like this, where they can get kind of guaranteed territory and safe iron, that can be very tough. So let's take a look at the stats. Similar units produced. Aqua had better kill death, heroes and units and structures. There weren't too many sector trades there. A little further along in tech and just expanding his economy. in infrastructure. Yep. I'll just quickly go through these. Geez, that must have been a not sure when this was. Maybe this was from this was actually probably from taking the adamantium golems, both of these moments here. Alright, again, so well played to both players. Thanks for letting me replay the casts. And I'll see you all on the next one.